Let's start building reports. And before we build a report, it's important that we understand that Salesforce is basically objects or tables and relationships. And relationships mean that each record can be related to multiple other records. In this example, and this is a basic relationship, we have a donor, and that donor made multiple donations. Each donation is a gift transaction record, and each one of those donations is linked to the donor record. So if you were to create a new gift transaction, you will have to say who the donor is. So it's going to be one donor, and that donor is associated with that gift, and that donor is also associated with that gift, and that donor is also associated with that gift. It means that when you create a new gift transaction, you specify a donor. So this is one record, and the donor is specified here. So we could actually say something like donor is already selected, and here donor is selected, and then here donor is selected. So we have the donor 3 times. When we build the report, we can group these donors together into one donor, so that it doesn't have to show up like 3 times instead, and shows up as 1 time like this here, up here. I'll show you this in a minute now, or rather in a second now. Let's go ahead and create a new report. Let's go navigate to the reports tab, and then we can click new report. And because we know that a report is basically relationship, you can see things like accounts only. This is one object. You see accounts with contacts. This is where the account is the parent and the contacts are the children. There is opportunities only. We've got, let's look at, you don't see anything with accounts. We've got activities or like tasks that are associated with the account. So for this account or donor, that's the list of tasks that we have there. Accounts with gift commitments, all the gift commitments that are associated with this donor, things like this. The one that we want to look at is the summary, accounts with donor gift summaries. If you remember, at the account page, we had the giving summary tab, and there we could see things like total amount of donations this year, total amount of donations last year, and then all time, things like this. So every donor has one associated giving summary record. You could definitely run a report against donors with gift transactions, but for now, because I know that the donor gift summary object is automatically performing all of these calculations, it's gonna include things like if you click the fields tab to the left side, you will see like a ton of things. We have average gift amount, best gift year, first gift date, second gift date, last gift amount. So there is a ton of information here, and that is already available out of the box. You could run a report against gift transactions, but you're gonna have to manipulate the report to collect this information. So instead of doing this, we're gonna run a report against accounts against donor gift summaries, which gives us all of this when the data processing engine definition runs, whenever it does run, and typically we have it running every night, so we have this data up to date all the time. Let's add a couple of fields to this report. You can do this by clicking the fields here on the left side, and then search for whatever we need. Let's say this gifts this year amount. I can double click to add it. So this is one way, and let's find last year amount. I can click and drag instead, and you can also under columns here you can search for this. So we need current year gift count, and I also need last year gift count, and I also need total gift amount, and I also need total count, Let's search for the word count instead. Gift count. Let's do gift count. It seems that this gift count is the total. Current and last one plus 3, that's 4. So yes, gift count is the total. Let's now rearrange the columns so that they are in the proper order. So we're gonna need the account name up top. Let me save this report and refresh because it's being slow. Save this report and I'll just give it, I'll name it donor gift summaries. And you're gonna need to select a different report because if it's private then it's only available to you. I'll select all folders. Feel free to create a new folder, or maybe I'll just select public reports for now and save. So this is donor gift summary. Let's continue editing this. I want the account name to be the first thing, and then I want this here amount, and then this year count, and then last year amount and last year count. Last year amount and last year count. We don't want the name of the gift, the donor gift summary record itself. And then we have the total amount and then the gift count. So we have the amount, count, amount, count, amount, count for all time. And if you remember, we needed to group by the donor. So I'm gonna drag this account name from here up top here. It might not look different in this report, but if you were to run, it doesn't look different because every donor has only one associated donor gift summary record. But if you were to run this against gift transactions, then you would see one account name like this and then a list of gift transactions right to it. It's also required when we build a chart. I'm going to show you this in a minute. It's required that you have it grouped by something. In our case, we're going to group this by the donor. And then under filters, you almost always want to do this. At least you must confirm that it is intentional, that it is set up like this. Under show me, you might want to change this to all accounts, because my accounts means that you own these accounts. And if you go to an account, and if you create an account, you are the owner of the account. You see like account owner field here, but you could change it to another user in the system. You could change it to some other user in the system and then change owner. In that case, you don't own this record, and this is used for security purposes. An owner sees the record. Someone who doesn't own the record doesn't necessarily see that record. And that's a whole security conversation. But if you want to see the data of all accounts in the system, you want to change this from my accounts to all accounts. And then also you might want to change the created date to say all time instead, unless you intentionally want to look at current fiscal quarter only. You can add filters in here and make adjustments. You can add the filter like if you want to see any donors where the gifts this year amount is greater than 0. So you just want to look at current year donors, and you don't want this report to show any one that has not donated in the current year. Let's I'll delete this filter, but feel free to add any filters. Feel free to add more columns to any of this. Let's go ahead and save. And that's basically how to build a basic report. Now let's look at dashboards. And a dashboard is a bunch of charts that we can build. Let's say donor gift summaries as well. The report looks like a table. The dashboard is going to be some charts next to each other that we pull from these reports that we built a minute ago. I'll save this in the anywhere in the company dashboards. Okay. Feel free to create new folders and whatnot. And then we can add widgets here. And a widget, we get to select a couple of things. We can add like a text here, like donor gift summary, and then we make this bold and center, and this is just like a nice way to tell what this dashboard is for. Let's add this here. You can do drag and whatnot just to let people know what this dashboard is about. And then you can add an image if you want. Let's now start, like that's the most important thing. Let's start adding reports in here. So a chart or a table pulls that data from a report. Let's select the report that we created a minute ago, and let's start getting some information from there. You could select like the metric chart like this, and then the measure under measure we want to see any of those columns. We want to look at sum of gifts this year amount. So this is the total of donations that we received in the current year, which is a nice thing to have. Let's add this. I'll actually click the pencil icon to edit, and then all the way down here I can give it a name, and this is like total donations and then dash current year. Let's update this, and now let's add a similar one. We'll just repeat this for last year. I'll select this and then change this to some of what was it, amount last year amount, and then we'll say here last year. So we've got last year amount, and then we'll repeat this for the all time. So amount, total gifts amount, and then this one, and that's the total amount, and we'll give it the title of all time, like this. And we could, like, because this is like an important piece of information, then we could probably do something like this. And we can repeat like this for the counts right below. So we can do donor gift summary, and then select this, and then select the count instead to know how many donations we received in the current year. And you can repeat this and add 3 down here. You can also manipulate and try other information. Let's say, for example, we need to look at the person who donated the most in the current year. So I can like select sum of gifts this year amount. We're looking at current year only, and then I'm gonna sort this by under sort by. I'm gonna sort by the sum of gifts this year amount down here, and then I'll just make it descending like this so that it shows me the person who donated the most in the current year. And I'll just add it. So this is one chart as well. You can repeat this, and you can get creative with what data you want to see. And let's do another one for maybe last year, or like all time. Let's maybe do the sum of gift count, all time number of gifts in general, and okay, let's do sum of gift count, and we will sort this by the number of gifts in a descending manner as well, so we know who donated the most to our organization since we started. And we can add this maybe here. Just okay. You could definitely add like a text up above like this section, a text above this section. If you want to add images, you can add more charts and whatnot. Let's just keep it like this, save, and we are done. Now, after you are done with this, you could refresh a dashboard anytime to pull the most recent information. So the dashboard doesn't refresh automatically. You actually have to click refresh so that it pulls the dashboard, but you have to do it after a minute. And people can now navigate to reports, and then open the report that we created. They can navigate to dashboards and open the dashboard that we just created. And if you open a report like this up top, you're gonna see these totals, like total gifts this year amount. That's like every column that we added. that this is the number of people that we have in the system. This is the total gifts this year amount, the total count for the current year, and so on. So it goes through each one of those columns, and then it counts and the amount and the number of donations. On the dashboard, you're gonna see this like view report under each one of those charts. So if you want to see where this number is coming from, right now we are pulling from the same report all of the components, but sometimes you might have a different report and you're pulling from different reports. So you can click this view report, and then it will take you to the report to find that information. So we could users could use reports or dashboards like this, and that's like a basic overview of using reports and dashboards.